The case study that I looked at was titled Dodging Deflate-gate, and what this case study looked at was when the New England Patriots had a scandal against them that they deflated their footballs. The case study looked at Tom Brady's press conference at the time of the Deflate-gate, and the goal was to determine if equivocation was beneficial or not. So what the case study did is it took Tom Brady's press conference and it made two different forms. One that included equivocation, times that Tom Brady would say, "I don't know, I'm not sure, I don't believe so." And then they made another video that took out the equivocation and it just gave his direct answers to the reporter's questions. Now with the two videos, they had a group of people, and one group got one form of the video and the other group got the other, and they were asked questions about it. So the case study's results were that the people who had the non-equivocation video that had just the direct answers felt that Tom Brady was dodging more questions. It also determined that the people with the equivocation felt that Tom Brady had more goodwill, therefore he was likely more credible. And the last finding that they had is that the people with the non-equivocation wanted more answers after watching it, where the people with equivocation kind of didn't, and they were settled with what they got. So a question that arose was, with the people with equivocation thought that Brady had more goodwill. And why is this so? I think this is so because when somebody says things like "I don't know" or "I'm not sure," it makes them human and makes them seem just like everybody else, that they're in the same situation as the reporters and the fans, that they're figuring this out with them as it goes, where if you just give them a direct answer, it almost seems scripted and that you're just avoiding the questions almost. Another thing is that the case study talked about how the NFL requires its players to how to deflect questions and handle reporters. I think this is very important because reporters are trying to always get the answers and trying to get the behind the scenes for the fans and stuff like that, and players need to be able to give some of that to the fans and not necessarily just ignore them entirely, but to give them some information yet not give them entire access to what's going on in the facility and with players and stuff like that. Some of that is confidential and they need to understand how to handle that and deflect questions to be more positive. And lastly, the case study talked about reporters with Mickey Mantle and people in the past, and a question is, do you think sports stars equivocate more nowadays when answering reporters' questions? And I for sure think so. I think that with technology nowadays, anything you can say is instantly put out there. So I think athletes are more aware of that, and when in interviews and stuff like that, they equivocate